All right, I'm back. I had to charge. I had to delete some videos so I have a video that doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying? But so let me stand up. I don't want to be lazy. Talk to you guys about some serious stuff. So, all right, so Samyaza is the leader of, they say, these 200 fallen angels that came down and made it with women and brought the flood. But so they were up in the heavens and they seen that women were beautiful. They take themselves, these male angels. And so Samyaza was telling them, like, I fear that I and I alone will have to pay the penalty for a great sin. And they were like, they're probably saying, like, no, no, like, we got your back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to do this together. Like, God don't want us to do it, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. And so they said, come, let us bind ourselves. Like, you know how, like, you can make an oath and an agreement between you and somebody, like, bind ourselves between an agreement, like a bind ourselves behind a certain secret or something, that y'all both, like, robbed something or hit a lick on something. So y'all got to bind yourself by that secret now. Or y'all robbed a bank together or something. Y'all bind ourselves by mutual implications to not, like, rat on each other or let anybody else know that y'all did it. Because they'll start talking, it'll come back on y'all. So the angels that wanted to come down and mate with earth women. Now, why were women here on earth? That's another story. See what I'm saying? All women here on earth. The goddess who fell from heaven. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't talking about that right now. Real talk. But yeah, so they wanted earth women. These were angels, these were etheric beings. They had no need to procreate because they were the immortal. They lived forever, so they had no need to make children. So I'm saying, like in the book Extraterrestrial Species Almanac, it tells you that super angels, some of them are created as adults. Like when they're first created, they're created as already born as an adult. Well, not really not born, but they're already manifested by the cosmos, by ether, Allah. So I'm saying, the breath, God, as an adult. So they don't have to go through being a child. So they're already universally birthed, born as conscience and as an adult consciousness. So they had no need to have children and procreate. That's what God's whole strife with them was. So when they came down, so they said, let us bind ourselves by mutual implications, to not abandon this plan, but to do this thing, to make Samyaza agree to it, because he was the leader. Azazel was one of the ones that wanted to mate with women. Azazel was hitting the day, who you know as a Satan. So it was Ramiel, Tamiel, Azazel, Azazel. Do you know what El? El means God. It's just like power. It's just like saying power. El means God. It means power. So start glowing now. So it's funny how all these people, all these beings that we call demons today, they all had God in their names, except for Samyaza. He was the leader. So all his names, I'm telling you, you can go pull up, and the story is there. The story of the Watchers. So Tamiel, Ramiel, Arikiel, Azazel. I literally was calling on these beings, trying to make take them out of their low state and bring them back up to a heavenly state like a year ago. And literally one of them showed up where I worked at and started living there under the cloak of like a special needs person. Like I don't call him fallen anymore, but he's one of my angel friends. He's the one I tell you, he walk up and touch stuff and fix it and all that. He's the one that gave me the watch, you know what I mean, and the charm. He gave me the charm. I told him I was gonna buy it from him, but he really gave it to me because he really just came around me with this charm. And then he told me that he makes them. And if you know he's supernatural, then you know he actually can make them. like from his mind or with his hands or something, but like not with the machine. I know that for a fact. I was like, you make the change, and he was like, yes. You know what I mean? Because it's hard for him to tell me. It's hard for him to tell people who he is, because we are Earth people. We are the natural people. He's the supernatural. He's the one. He's one of the ones where they say where God was mad at them for coming down and mating with Earth humans because they say they taught us all kind of sins. These angels who came down, and they taught us the working of how to make breastplates, the making of swords, like how to work swords. They taught us the beautifying of the eyelids, so makeup and mascara. That's why men and women did it in ancient culture, because it had nothing to do with no type of like being gay or nothing feminine. It was like the angels, like we were used to just being completely beautiful. We wasn't used to having to make yourself beautiful. We were used to supernatural beautifulness, stuff coming out of our hair naturally, and us being able to make colors on our faces. That's the realm that we came from. So when we came down, we was doing the face paint and nails and body paint. You know what I'm saying? Rings through your nose and animal stuff, horns all on through your body, because we're trying to make ourselves look like who we actually are. And this is why I told you. I said, how do the Watchers look? And then they were explaining how these angels look. They have 4 faces, and one's the face of a man. So never let anybody tell you that man is not God, or man is not an angel, or one of the angelic. Don't never let anybody trick you into believing that. The reason why it's so hard for humans to believe it is because we are the ones that we're talking about. So of course, giving credit at home or giving credit where it's due is always something that takes more. It takes more of a pull. It don't always come naturally. You have to give the credit. I mean, yeah. So basically, like I said, I looked in the mirror and see myself as a half man, half lion. Now, doing mushrooms, I started communicating with these lions, which they're really like some have the head of panthers, some have the head of like lions, jaguars. From what I hear, other people who have seen the Lyrans and contacted them and spoke with them. But I started actually seeing them on mushrooms. Like I'd be on mushrooms, I'd be riding in late night doing a sport, because I always knew I was one of the 4 horsemen. I always knew like I was spiritually here for a reason. So like just collect, you know what I'm saying? Get the bad souls in tune. Now that I got my own soul right, tightened up myself, now it's time for me to collect, so I can make sure that nobody get hurt, raped, bullied, or picked on, you know what I'm saying, or got over on. Like really, they could really get badly physically hurt, or they can get over on, somebody be getting over on you on your soul because you can't speak up for yourself. So they causing you to have negative experiences. Like I told you, my reptile imposter human video, people have negative experiences because I was too blind to the fact that they were wicked beings, or they chose wickedness. They were evil ruach, evil angels. So, so they tell you that the angels have the body of animals, the faces of men, features. That's how we actually look. So you can find there's skeletons they with horns on Earth. All you gotta do is pull it up on YouTube. Human skeletons found with horns. But found the giants. You'll find more. You research them because there's on it. Even before Atlantis was over, Atlantis left. Because I heard one of the bros say Atlantis actually left in the sky and didn't sink. But there was a whole bunch of animals here. Tahuti, like say the gods walk the earth as men. That's how I be telling my friends. I said I'm an Adonai. I said y'all are gods as well, but I'm under the cloak of a man. I'm actually a god, or one of the gods walking the earth as men. I walk amongst y'all daily, just like y'all walk around. I walk in a circle with y'all, but I'm always talking about this type of stuff. They listen to it because they know I'm on their same level. I don't try to act different from them. But I was telling my friend yesterday. I said, have you ever heard me talk about anything normal? I said, do you ever hear me talk about like, yeah, man, it's cheese pizza. Like, man, I want this pizza. Or man, I love cheese pizza. I said, you've known me for a year now, and every time I talk to you, it's about something spiritual. about something of the supernatural or the spiritual. As I was trying to explain to him the other day. I said, I'm not. I said, I am God. And it was hard for him to believe it because he doesn't know who he is. So he's like, you're not God. You can see his break because he knows that if he accepts me as God, that means he would have to respect me. And he could no longer get over on me in any way. He knows he would have to respect me. You know what I'm saying? He would have to be. So the Titans, some of the humans that came down, the human aliens, the hairless ones that came down, the Beta Andromedans, we weren't animal. We were God, or our God. We're the ones that the point of our fingertips. We can create worlds and do whatever we want with the point of our fingertips. Create a whole world and civilizations. This is why civilizations go missing. And this is why aliens, people who came in contact with even lower forms of the alien, I wouldn't call them lower because we don't do that in my school. We don't do that in my heavenly school. We don't call people lower. We don't call people names. We don't say this is better. Like when we're talking about things we like, we don't be like, yeah, bro, what's better? Or this song is better than that one, bro. You got to hear it. We don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We're at that level. We've evolved to that state now where we're conscious. And we're aware of other people's feelings. We're aware of things that we were unaware of before. You see, we running fast in the school. This is a school teach knowledge. I mean, we're gonna do what we do. We're gonna smoke bud, we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna get girls, women, y'all can get y'all men, you know what I mean? Kids are gonna be happy. Like the kids are gonna do whatever they wanna do, you know what I mean? But we are gonna be the teachers of the society while doing those things. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to make knowledge hard, but smoking blunts and doing that stuff easy, because that's not easy either. All the effort that goes into rolling a blunt, a hemp blunt, or a joint, or whatever you smoke, all the effort that goes into making love with a girl, or rolling a blunt, or all the effort that goes into trying to go to a party, bro. Don't tell me that's easy. And make it seem like your spirit chooses that. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna benefit from it. If you chose knowledge, other people would benefit from it. So that's why my spirit chooses this, because the way I benefit from knowledge is ways that you can't even see. You just probably can see it manifest in little ways that your eyes can see that I benefit from knowledge. But the way I actually benefit from knowledge is the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is mine, and I got the ability to call shots on the earth plane. I'm not one of the ones that call shots. I call the shots, or I call shots. See what I'm saying? Because it's many of us. It's many of us in the heavens. Well, believe that. As much as you believe in other beings, other spiritual beings, you better believe that there's just as many righteous beings. So you should feel just as good as you feel bad about those negative beings. You should feel the same equally as good about righteous beings that exist in the universe and good encounters. Therefore, you should always be happy. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you see with your eyes. Just like Tupac said, there's going to be some things you see that's going to make it hard to smile in the future. But in the midst of all this, regardless of all this, you got to keep your sense of humor. You got to be able to smile throughout all this BS. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I did mushrooms, and I seen the galaxy open up in my chest, and I went inside and I was able to control it through like these wheels, like these just like something that felt like wheels in my chest, but I was able to control it. It wasn't like I was being controlled and just got to have it an experience. No, this is what I'm trying to tell you about man being God. And plans on all them being God, or we're being God. So I'm saying this wall, this dresser drawer, you know what I'm saying? And it's all God. It's from the same material. It's just because you don't think. But if you ever done mushrooms, LSD, you know conscience. You know things are kind. You know these things is talking to you. These things are human. These are actually human. You know what I mean? These things are human consciousness. We're also conscious, which is a human consciousness. And the human consciousness is just a right from wrong consciousness, and agreeable what you like and dislike consciousness to get to the best perfected state. So we are really like in our perfected state right now, and we're just getting better. But once we leave, once we finally go back up to our this is what Earth is, world, the real world, the city, the crystal sky, crystal city, and the kingdom of heaven, real world, or our real world. So this is actually the underworld. This is under the real world. This is Earth. You know what I'm saying? People call Earth the underworld. You know what I mean? And then you have a world under this world. You got a whole world going on beneath the surface of our world. Believe that. Believe that. That's where a lot of our technology and stuff comes from. It's from the inner Earth. They got super technology there. People living there, if they ever can make it to the inner Earth, they end up being 10 feet tall. Like Admiral Byrd and all them that flew over there to Antarctica back in the 20s and 30s and went to the inner Earth. Met some of the Rabonis living down there, seen the UFOs, was taken by the UFOs, and was taught about what's going to happen to Earth. And basically, they say if we can get rid of war and violence, then we'll be okay. But if we don't get rid of war and violence, then we can wipe ourselves out. And see, black people, we're supposed to be the teachers of humankind. But like I said, we're not even black. We're the original green man. You know what I'm saying? We are the original gray. Like, we are the original alien. We are the original gray aliens and purple aliens. Like, if you know yourself, you know you're an alien. You just try to act like you're normal. But if you know but see, once you start acting like an alien, then they'll gravitate towards you because they are alien. That's why they say, do not front. You know what I'm saying? Do not be fake or don't try to appease, because your own personality is what people really want. Because it's your personality. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting like something personal for them, but it's really you. But it's like for them, it's personal because they can't get it everywhere. They can only get it from you. That's why you should never try to be like anybody else or never try to dim your light. Just always make sure your light is living in accordance with life, the cycle of life. You know what I mean? Don't shine your light and be like, oh, this is my light. So this is my light. However you feel about it. No. Try to live in accordance with life. Things that are good. I mean, don't take an apple and bury it back into the ground. Eat it. Or let somebody eat it. Live according to life and with life. Live in accordance with life. Don't take that apple and just start throwing it against the wall as a hobby. Eat it. Or find someone or something that wants to eat it. Don't take the apple and just chop it up and put it on the ground. Just let it lay on the ground. Eat the apple. Live in accordance to life. Let your light live in accordance to life. See what I'm saying? So, animal souls. So, a lot of us are actually from a whole other system, star system. And we are here now. And see, our ancestors were here, but they left in the crafts back in the day because they didn't want to live around soulless people, like I heard Dr. Deborah Blair say. So we are actually the last. Like, we are some of the last. Like, if anybody that's here on the earth now that's conscious and teaching and wants you to be strong, smart, healthy, wants you to know who you are and wants you to not just agree with who you are in this body, but know who you have been in past lives and other universes and other constellations and other planets. Those beings that teach this type of knowledge we teach now, we are actually like some of the last ones. And when we leave, you're going to see stuff happen. You know what I mean? And there will be a restorance after those things happen, from what I hear. But I already knew this would happen. I just had to hear it. Hear somebody else hear it. Well, this was a guy from in the 1890s. He traveled to the year 3000 something. And he said he was a guy in a coma then. But he was saying how the world was like going to be like so like nice and advanced after this war was over. Around the year 3000, like once we had went through this war, and once this war was over, this global war, and these like nuclear warfare that he was talking about, he said once this is over, our civilization will rise again, but it won't be like this. This is not a civilization. We are not civil, and we are not risen, as far as in like the masses of people. I mean, individually, you can rise yourself up to be risen, be worthy of heaven. Be worthy of sitting on the right-hand side of God. See what I'm saying? I'm talking about for real. I ain't talking about no jokes. Like, you really will call the shots. The Most High will say, this is the one who calls the shots. I am the Most High God, who thou art worthy of praise. See what I'm saying? This is my right hand. They say women was on the left-hand side of God. They say when women fell from heaven, wisdom fell from the left-hand side of God. Yeah, you never heard of the left-hand side of God. You always heard of the right-hand side of God, power. the masculine. But they say when women was cast down to earth, you know what I'm saying, for wanting to be more powerful than God, her brother, and wanting to create beings and entities who would rule over God and be greater than the kingdom of heaven, and they swore to be down for her. They said she was hurled down to the earth. The dragon was hurled down from heaven. The dragon is the woman. But we always hear about the female dragon, Tiamat, the mother, the cosmic dragon of the creation. You know what I mean? And so as human beings, we have dragon souls, animal souls. Like you hear about the angels, because we are the actual angels, bro. Like I seen me flying in dreams many times. Sometimes levitating, sometimes flapping wings. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes actually as a bird, but then I had one dream maybe like 4 months ago where I was in this land and I was a human, but I was learning how to fly again. I was in the sky, not too far off the ground. I was up, but I wasn't too far off the ground. It's just like a bird be flying like past the trees. I was learning how to use my wings again. You know what I'm saying? Like how to start flying. So these are all spiritual things that you get in other dimensions, other places. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video before it gets too long. You know, we don't do nothing reckless. I mean, we do everything in four. But I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how these Lyrans look. Now, see, I knew about the Lyrans before I even seen them in the book, because I was communicating with them on mushrooms. Let me tell you this story. I didn't want to leave this out. So on mushrooms, after I see myself as a galaxy, I went and I was in a huge tower. I was like on this tower. I was in like this office. It was like all dark, so it looked like my apartment, but it was like a building. I was inside of a room, call center room. That's how it looked, but it was my apartment or something. Sleeping, it was nice. Of course, you know, I'm awake now and I'm looking out like the floor, like way sky, like on a jack tower type sky. I was, and a lion flies over to me, and he's flying like this, like up. You know what I'm saying? Over. But I remember his hands were like up or something, like he was doing like a pose. And he was flying towards me. And he was like, welcome. And I had to see what happened was I was on mushrooms on his mushroom tea. And I talked to my friend for like 2 hours, just giving him all this advice. That it was coming through me. It wasn't coming from me, it was coming through me. As a genie. Like the mushroom tea had turned me into like this genie. So I told her to make these wishes, whatever wish she wanted. And I told her, just make a wish. Just let me hear it. All of it came true because I've been knowing I was a genie, but I would see it in my dreams. Me just flying around as what they call a ghost, you know what I'm saying, or a genie. But I would be talking to people. I would be seeing people that weren't really there, that y'all can't see. I'll be talking to spirits, asking them to help me with this, help me get this person to stop messing with me. You know what I'm saying? Person be sick that week, I mean, in the hospital, all type of stuff. I was in the dreams though, so. Genies talk to other genies, you know what I'm saying? A lot of your family members, the ones who make your wishes come true for you, they are genies. There's a reason that they're spiritual like that. It's the reason that they want to see your wishes come true. It ain't just because they love you, it's because that's actually part of who they are. And the knowledge of it hasn't been lost, because you see me talking about it. But the knowledge of it is being really focused on being hidden. Just like the mermaids. So I talked to him for like 2 hours and gave him so much spiritual advice that the gods deemed me worthy to come up and meet them, because I am one of their starseeds, one of their offspring that's here on the earth now, and a human flesh. Like I see in the mirror of me, this huge orange mustache and a cat nose in a vision when I was laying down on the marijuana or whatever. So he flew over to me. And he was like, welcome. And he was like, you are here because of, and it was what I had did for my homeboy. I didn't hear him say it. He didn't say it, but I knew exactly why I was there. He was like, you did good. Like you did good for him. You know what I'm saying? Like you did good. Like you're doing really good. Helping the people of the earth. When he came around to my door, when he flew around to where my door was at, he just bust through the door. Like he bursted down the door. And what I got from that is that's how they enter doors. Or at least maybe the door that I was in. I may have been barricaded or something. He may have flew from like a different city to where I was at in that home planet, which I believe it could have been Lyra. It's a planet called Lyra in the Vega constellation. If you go look at our constellations that we have, there's a planet called Lyra there, where these lion beings live there. So he just burst through the door. And after that, that was the end of it. But so, I'm going to show you how they look, though. I'm going to show you how we look. Bro, there's so many. Bro, like, there's so many races. Here's Yoda. This is the Jiaolin. They come from the Eridanus constellation. They are masters. They are masters of what they do on their home planet. Forget about the Baul. But here's a dinosaur. This is a royal dinoid. They are cosmic masters. They teach love. They believe royal dinos are royal dinoids are part of the Galactarian alignment. Their master teachers reawaken their unique culture and past transgressions in their star seeds, who in turn share it with the people of the earth. You know what I mean? Like, man, these were like, they got motherships, thought ships, fleet ships, and scout ships. They can travel interdimensionally. So a lot of us, like I'm telling you, you see she got boobs? This is really who we are. And the human form, this is just us as God, as a God form. As I showed it on my like our human form is like, here's an insectoid female, a Syrian, where I'm from Sirius. So here's a Syrian insectoid female. Here's a seventh ray race male, you know, with Jesus or in a physical body up in there. Let me show you this lion right quick, because my Lyrans, I have their personality. I am one of them. We are family, so they know I'm making this video right now. Oh yeah, the bees are nice. I be communicating with him. Royal. Out of the flies. I be getting the flies high, but the bees are nice. I communicated with him way before I knew about him. Years ago. Years ago. I communicated with him. He told me his name and everything. His name was Beelzebub. But this was the one I had met was okay, so bam. The one I had met was like an angel that was here on the earth collecting like souls. You know what I mean? So I had met this fly, and he was riding a motorcycle in my mind, this vision I had in my mind on LSD. There was a man, he had the head up like a bug, and he was riding a motorcycle. And he told me his name was Beelzebub, and he told me he told me I was perfect. Basically because he was one of the I'm trying to think of the exact name, because I don't like saying words that may promote something that doesn't cause the best feelings. I'm trying to think of the exact name for what I would call him back in the day. I just know he was the rider, man. He was the rider. He was the one where if you do wrong, if you're doing bad things, he coming for that soul. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of get the picture of what I'm saying. Of who this being was, because he was on a motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? He had the head of a bug. Here are the bees, and here. Okay, so here goes my lion feline. All right, so this is how we look, and this is how they look on their home planet. Like, you see, it's a body of a man with the head of a lion. This is how they look, and they are tall, like 9 feet tall, 10 feet tall. Now, these is actually the Lyrans, but in this book, they got them titled as a lion feline being. In the Lyrans in this book, they have shown as like a human. It looks more human, but these are actually the Lyrans. You know what I mean? The ones with the actual heads of lions. And these are the ones where they met, when people that God met the Lord and he was a lion. Yeah. I mean, recently a lion, like with no hair. That was him from the eyes. My granddad been passed away for about 3 months now. No. My granddad been passed away for about like 8 months now, 8 or 9 months. And I love my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? And I do love him. That's Akhenaten. My grandfather, that's Akhenaten. But so these are the lion felines. So these are the Lyrans. Let's say so. The lion felines come from the Sirius star system in the Canis Major constellation. Other feline civilizations are located in the Antares and the Lyra systems. I was saying about Lyra earlier. Physical characteristics. That was a universal origin. Physical characteristics. Lion felines are comparable to cats and lions on Earth. They have blended features of a cat and human with larger eyes and cat pupils. Some have fur, slight fur or peach fuzz. Both males and females have tails. The male and female lion human mix are almost 7 feet tall, and manes have manes and hair, but they're way taller than 7 feet. Some people have seen them and they were like 12 feet. And some people have seen them in dreams and visions, they were like 12 feet. But they were communicating with me the whole time on the mushroom, you know what I mean? And then I actually seen one in the dream, and then I seen myself recently in this house as a half one. So I already knew I was a star seed or something. I knew I was something. I knew I was like an Arcturian star seed and a Palladian. But that's when I learned for a undeniable fact. Because I already knew I was a cat. Like I already knew I had this cat. Anytime I did like LSD or something, I just always had this cat type mentality. I've always had this cat mentality. Always. I just couldn't break it down. And I seen Sekhmet one time, also, but in a whole different dimension. This wasn't a vision. This was in like a pre-world where the world wasn't created yet. So I seen Sekhmet as like a bunch of lines, like these neon lines, but it was like a lion in the body of a woman, and the head of a lion, the body of like a woman, a breast like of a black woman. But it was just lines. It was like a black universe. But you could tell it was a sister. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell it was a cosmic sister. Like I told you, white people, they're new. You know what I mean? Now, milky white aliens aren't, but I'm saying pale, like pale skin, like pale-skinned people. That's really just their melanin is not coming through. They've been turned pale. And this is why their hair is straight now. The woolly hair is the hair attribute of God. The woolly haired Negro on the planet they are the gods of the planet. And they are the God race. The straight hair is what they call sixth ether. You see what I'm saying? That is a product of beings messing with the human beings here and making our hair straight. Other black scientists with woolly hair creating white people and Asian races to be weak races. And Anunnaki creating them for sex and for slave races, creating them. So when they created them, they were mankind. They were kind of like a man. Like Jewish. Like I'm a Jew. See what I'm saying? I'm a Jew based on genetics, not religion. Based on we have a particular alien ancestor that we share. You see that symbol? So I am a Jew. I'm not Jewish. They are Jewish. I mean, like the white guys or whatever. They are kind of like Jews, not because of anything they pray, because of their bloodline. See what I'm saying? So because they actually are like anytime you see white people when they telling you that they are black or this is their original culture, they're actually telling you the truth. Like they're actually black. You know what I'm saying? They're called Canaanites. They've been turned white. You know what I'm saying?